Hey, what's up? It's your boy G. With ZENYGE, also with Uric Media. I Here's the deal. Now, more than ever, you need to have a business online. And I'll explain why. 3 great reasons. And I'll explain why in a second. Stay tuned. Hey, again, this is G with ZENYGE. Listen, 3 reasons. 3 really good reasons why you need, not should, why you need to have an online business or offline business, but a business outside of your job right now. It's 2023, is the end of 2023 going into 2024. No time like the present. Let me explain. Reason number 1. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, to the channel so you can, and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm making a video. Now, reason number 1. The world right now is in a place where AI is literally going to take your job. I don't care what you do. There's very few jobs. Now, of course, there's exceptions to every rule, but I don't care what your job is. 9 times out of 10, robotics and AI is going to take it from you soon. So what are you going to do? It just is what it is, guys. If you don't believe me, check in the state of Minnesota, where I'm from, about all those hundreds and hundreds of people who used to work at all of the mills here in the state before automation kicked in. General Mills, Pillsbury, and the like, right? Used to take over 100 people per shift to generate the flour that was made for the entire world. Mills here in Minnesota created the flour for basically everybody in the world at one point in time. Before all of the, ready-made breads and biscuits and breads that people eat, you had to buy flour and make the stuff, right? Well, the state of Minnesota milled all of it, basically. It took 100 people per shift, 4 shifts a day, to create that flour. You know how many it takes now? About 4. All those jobs are gone. Nobody could have told those people that they were going to lose their businesses. They were going to lose their job, lose their livelihood. Nobody could have told them that. Well, it did. The automobile industry. Look at how many people it took to make a car back in the day on an assembly line. Now, what does it take? 1 or 2, maybe 3, right? Nobody in Detroit could have predicted that they would be all out of jobs today. And not just today, over 20 years, they've not needed those people. So what did they do with them? They didn't do anything with them. It's part of the progression of technology. Technology is always a good thing, guys. You may not like it right now, but it's always a good thing. And right now, AI and robotics and automation is going to take most people's jobs. So you're going to be home anyway. Think about those 2 years that you were home, basically, that year you were at home during the Big C shutdown, right? Think about that. Didn't that make you think, maybe I need to do something different? Because look what could happen, right? The whole time everybody else was sitting at home, I was making money. I was making money, right? So the first reason is the world, the climate, the world we're in right now requires that you have something on the side, right? Call it a side hustle if you like. I don't have a side hustle. What I do kills everybody else's front, let alone the side, right? But that's just a story for another day. But that's the first reason. Reason number 2. Now, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a corporate attorney, none of that. But I will say this. When you have a business, at the very least, it offsets your tax liability for the employment job you have. Because again, when you're employed, when you work for a company, small, medium, or large, the government gets their money first. Let me say that again. When you work for a small business, a medium-sized business, or a huge corporation, if you are an employee, the government, Uncle Sam, gets his money first. What do I mean by that? Okay, it's simple. When you get your check, is money out of it? Yes, of course, money is taken out of it. Goes towards taxation, right? All that stuff comes out first. But when you're an independent contractor or you own your own business, guess what? All the money comes to you first, and then you give out where it should go. You get to decide how much taxes you want to pay, right? How much taxes you want to avoid, right? You decide that, not the government. So that's another big reason. So let's say you've got a job, you're employed, and let's say you make 100 grand a year. You're spending 30 grand in taxes. Easy. You're spending 30 grand in federal income taxes, Social Security taxes, and then if you add on health insurance that you're paying every month, that's a lot of money. So let's say you're making 70 grand now out of 100. You got a 6-figure income and you end up making 70 grand a year, right? But if you had a business on the side that was creating, say, 40 grand a year, you could offset that because you won't pay as much taxes on that. Again, I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not an accountant, CPA, none of that. But I'm just telling you what I know, right? Okay, so, but what's the third reason? I'll explain. One of my business associates, her name is Venus. She mentioned that she has always loved jewelry, and she's always bought a lot of jewelry, but she also makes her own jewelry, and she decided to start her own business selling jewelry. Awesome, right? She got 2 or 3 businesses going. Now she decided to turn what she already does into a business, right? Something she loves, a passion. She's turning it into business, right? And then she says, my first business was in jewelry because I was in Sarah Coventry. Now, if you know MLMs and you're a historian of MLMs, you know Sarah Coventry was probably the first MLM where women could buy jewelry from each other. Well, guess what, guys? My dearly departed mother, may she rest in peace, that was the first business she was in. And her and my dad used to go to the conventions and all that kind of stuff, right? So inadvertently, they taught me to be an entrepreneur without telling me. As a matter of fact, they talked me out of it most of the time, right? Because my father was a Baptist minister. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked a full-time job and pastored 2 churches. And he had a side deal. He had a business he was trying to do, selling Bibles and religious paraphernalia out of a store when he didn't have the internet like we have now. But he never talked to me about being an entrepreneur. My mom was in Sarah Coventry, but she never talked to me about being an entrepreneur. My mom sold Tupperware, but she never talked to me about being an entrepreneur. Ironically, the first time I was in any MLM was a company called Jewelway, where I was selling jewelry from a catalog. It was horrible, never made a dime, right? But at least I was trying. But my folks never, ever encouraged me to be an entrepreneur. But inadvertently, by just watching them, it changed the trajectory of how I do life, right? I programmed my own future. I became a professional musician. In so doing, they tried to talk me out of that. In so doing, I became a Grammy Award-winning songwriter, performed all around the world, toured with Prince. I've done so much stuff because I made a decision to do it my way, right? Inadvertently, my family taught, my mom and dad taught me that. May they both rest in peace, right? So that's the third big reason. Start a business for your family. Even if that business never really makes any money, you're teaching your children to be entrepreneurs instead of just workers. right? Teaching your children to be part of the 2% who hires the 98%, right? My son, 6 years old, Kingston, I will never strike him. That curse is long gone. I will never strike him, ever raise my hand to that young man. I don't care if he's 16 years old. I don't care if he's 25 years old. I will never raise my hand to him. He's never gotten a spanking in his entire life. But you know, the quickest way for him to get me real mad, because I've never really even been mad at him, the way to make me really mad is for him to come to me at 14 and say, hey, Dad, I just got a job. Job? Have you ever seen Dad go somewhere for a job? Have you ever seen that? Yeah, you saw your mom do it because this is all she knows. But you ever seen Dad get up, get dressed, go drive in traffic to go work for somebody? No. Why do you want a job when this business is already yours? Anything you want, you can have right now. You don't need to ask somebody to give you 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, $20 an hour. I don't care. Because they can't pay you what you're worth. They can only pay you what they think you deserve. No, I won't ever do it. I won't ever let him do it. So guys, that's 3 great reasons to start a business. Should you start mine? I don't know. Should you? Should you? Should you? I don't know. Depends on what you're into. We're into a lot of things at ZENYGE. Give it a shot. It's all I do. I don't need to recruit you. Because my business, I can make all the money I'm making right now without having anybody on a team. No sales force on my side at all if I wanted to. I just happen to have a lot of people who got started. So there's a supplemental income there. But that's not, this business is not for everybody. We already know that. But if you decide that you want to start a business, become independently wealthy, no income claim, become independently wealthy, and be in front of the biggest financial trend in 100 years, if you want to be in front of the biggest transfer of wealth in human history, you might want to take a look. With that, I'm going to get out of here. And as always, I'm parting. It's your boy G. Peace.